What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today I'll be going through the wildcard draft potential for game week 4. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because this is one of the most talked about topics in this game week. Game week 3 was probably the most difficult game week of the FPL season so far. The average points was 48, and let's just say the so-called template or the most popular pick players in the FPL game, barring Mo Salah, gave us a good return, unless you captained him, of course, gave you a good return this week. So there's been a lot of knee-jerks, a lot of kind of thought processes going in, people taking hits, people making multiple transfers, and yet there's some people like myself who haven't even hit a transfer yet so far. So let's see what the kind of thought process is for this week. I've had a lot of questions around, Mo, what's the ideal wildcard draft? We want to play our wildcard. So here it is. I've kind of made like a kind of wildcard template, which I potentially would play if I was playing the wildcard this week in game week 4. I have no intention personally to hit the wildcard as of yet. My kind of overall kind of like plan since game week 1 was between game week 6 and game week 9 was where there's going to be like a fixture swing. I kind of have at least 6 weeks of kind of like data to analyze, see what kind of so far the structures have gone well for FPL managers, what I could look to kind of be part of in terms of like a bandwagon to get on to players who are about to hit forms and fixtures. So for me personally, I'm not hitting any wildcard, but in this draft, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys if I was to personally play a wildcard this game week, what the team will look like. So if you guys haven't subscribed to FPL INKLING, this is your chance. Hit that subscribe button and also like the video if you like the content you see. So let's get a review of how I did in game week 3 in itself. Nothing really much home to write about. My defense kind of let me down, and my kind of attack and forwards and Gabriel pretty much save my week. So what am I looking for in terms of next week? So you guys have already seen my video in regards to my team selection. So the team that I've picked is no changes to it whatsoever. The captaincy remains the same on Salah. So 5 at the back: Trent, Cancelo, James, Gabriel and Cucurella. They've all got fixtures at home, which is an ideal situation. I've got Edison in goal as well, who's at home to Crystal Palace. So fingers crossed we can keep a clean sheet and get back to kind of like the standard procedure of getting some clean sheet plus kind of attacking returns and bonus points for game week 4. Now in the midfield we've got Salah, Kulusevski and Martinelli. Again, a great solid midfield. The only player playing away this week for me is Kulusevski, which is Nottingham Forest, who pretty much have been, let's say, leaky in the defensive line. So I'm kind of hoping for my first returns from Kulusevski since I brought him in game week 2. And then I've got Haaland and Jesus up front, and my bench is pretty much the same, which is Ward, Andres, Reed and Taylor. Now let's move on to the wildcard, how it looks like. So if I was to play the wildcard itself, the reason why I haven't activated it or pushed it through to show you guys how it looks like on a normal screen is because I have no, well, if I play it then I can't reverse it. So on screen, as you can see, I'm going to stick to the 5-3-2 formation. So in goal, I'm going for Ward, and my number 1 is going to be Ramsdale. So Ramsdale comes into my defence, so I'm getting one player from the defensive line of Arsenal because I'm looking to triple up and continuing tripling up on them coming in the next couple of weeks. And then we've got the back line of the 5 defenders that I think will be key, especially with form plus fixtures coming over the next couple of game weeks. So at the back at number 1, I've brought in Kieran Trippier. Yes, he's got a difficult game week against Liverpool coming up, but Liverpool have been leaky. Again, they can score as well, but in terms of an attacking kind of prospect, he did get a goal against Man City. Now I know he won't be scoring every single week, but it's nice to have a 5 million or 5.1 million pound defender from a Newcastle team that has a potential threat of getting you a goal, if not an assist. So he got a goal against Man City, got 6 points as well. They did concede 3, but looking at fixtures wise, Wolves away, Liverpool at the moment, they haven't hit form, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Bournemouth, Fulham and Brentford. So there's some really good fixtures that you can really target. You can even consider maybe after the Liverpool game a double up. In goal, you could get Nick Pope from Newcastle as well, because I think there's plenty of clean sheet potentials after the Liverpool game before they hit Manchester United in game week 11. And then the talk of the town, the talk of the FPL community, Ivan Perisic. So since game week 1, Perisic has been like, you know, the preseason talk. Will he play? Will he start? And he finally did get his first start for 75 minutes against Wolves. And guess what? He got a return from there as well. And he got a clean sheet plus bonus points as well, which got him a double-digit return. So if you did back him and you owned him and you were patient, good on you. Congratulations. You definitely deserved it. Yes, he got 5 points over the first 2 weeks. That's not disastrous, to be fair, considering how many minutes he played. But he's also already got 2 returns this season in playing pretty much, you know, just under 1.5 games, if not just over like 1.25 of a game. So Ivan Perisic is bringing a lot to Spurs now. The question will be, how fit is he to play, back-to-back games in terms of 90 minutes? Because there is Sessegnon, who was in great form for the first game week, at least, where he got a return against Southampton and some really good points. So will there be rotation next week going into game week 5, 6, 7, where there's 3 games within, I can say 4 games within 2 weeks, or 3 games within 1 week, which is a midweek game as well. So there could be potential rotation, but I do like the look of him. I do think that he adds a lot of value to Spurs in itself, and even if he comes on as a substitute, as he proved against Chelsea, he still has a potential to get you an attack in return, even though if he doesn't have the ability to get his clean sheet bonus because he hasn't played the 60 minutes. But there could be a likelihood where he starts this first part of the game and then kind of gets subbed off by around 60-65 minutes, so he could actually potentially get you the clean sheet bonus points before coming off. So again, that's a real good advantage for us to definitely target Perisic, and the fixtures for Spurs do look enticing over the next couple of game weeks until they hit Man City in game week 7. And then I'm continuing to hold on to the trio, I'd say, the 3 defenders that I think are key for this season itself. Reece James, ownership is still high, around 43.4%, 6.1 million in price, 15 points already with 1 goal, and he's got 2 clean sheets as well. So a couple of bonus points in there as well. Not an ideal game week against Leeds, but Chelsea still have some really good fixtures, as you can see. Leicester at home, Southampton away, West Ham at home, and Fulham away before Liverpool in game week 8. And then you can see a lot more green coming in as well, all the way up to Brighton away in game week 14. So Reece James gives us a lot of attacking threat. I'm not concerned by him at all, and the reason why he's in my team is because I think he's just as good as many £8 million midfielders in terms of attacking threat, and potentially could get you some really big hauls. And then moving on to Trent, yes, it's been disappointing. A lot of managers have transferred him out. His ownership has dropped below 50%. 7.5 million, he's got 4 points over 3 games. Not ideal, but he's a GOAT for a reason. He will come back. Just look at that, 208 points, 160, 210 points over the last 3 years. So he does have the potential. I think he will come back. It's just a confidence hit. I think Liverpool got it wrong. If they left Milner in front of him, he kind of has the license to go forward and whip a ball in. They played a different formation, and Milner played centrally, so it kind of left him exposed on the right-hand side with Harvey Elliott in front of him. So I think that might be addressed by Klopp himself, and Liverpool do have good fixtures coming up, guys, so we just don't want to move away. I'm not sure why people have moved away from him, basing on the fact that they got Bournemouth at home in a couple of days' time. So I think it's maybe a bit of a knee jerk, but I think I think personally we should still back Trent. He will eventually come good. And then Cancelo, so far 1 return, 2 clean sheets, 18 points. Didn't get anything against Newcastle, but understandable, they conceded 3 goals and he got a yellow card. So he's got high ownership. He's still being brought in by managers, and look at that fixture list. And he's one of the most nailed on players to start. I think if at the start of the season I was going to say 4 players were nailed on to start, it would be Edison, Cancelo, Diaz and De Bruyne. But at the moment, even Diaz last game got rested, but then come on for Ake's injury. But I think Cancelo is a safe pick, and we should still continue to back him, despite the 3 goals being conceded by Man City against Newcastle last week. And then I'm going to still stick with Martinelli because I'm sticking with 3 in the midfield. I think, his price has gone up to 4.4 mil to 6.4 mil, 41.5% ownership, and already 3 returns in 4 games. He came off in the 74th minute against Bournemouth, but there's no need for him to continue on. It's a bit of rest. I'm not concerned about his minutes. I'm sure he'll get a lot of minutes. And Arsenal's fixtures continue to be good. Fulham, Aston Villa at home, Manchester United, Everton, Brentford, and then the North London derby. So again, tripling up on Arsenal. The next couple of game weeks is ideal, and Martinelli is the forefront of someone you should have in your squad. And then obviously Mo Salah. People say he had a disappointing game on the pitch. Yes, he did against Manchester United, but yet he got the goal. He got 8 points. He got me 16 points, saved my game week. So that shows when he does hit form, the managers like 59.8% who own him will reap the benefits, and the 40-odd% who have lost faith in him or haven't owned him at all will then kind of like maybe knee-jerk and think, we need to get him in. Because this guy's so good, he will return, guys. Look at his, return form since 2017-18. The last 5 seasons, the minimum points he's got in one season is 231, which is 2 years ago. So, he will come good, guys. Liverpool, we just got to be patient, as I mentioned previously when I was talking about Trent. The fixtures on their side, and I think it can only get better for them, to be brutally honest. And then I brought in Luis Diaz to triple up on Liverpool because I think, I've got Kulusevski in my side, but if, looking at my next couple of game weeks, I am looking to kind of maybe bring in Harry Kane myself, but not yet. I'm still back in Haaland. I'm still 50-50. But, if I do change, I do want some Spurs coverage. So if I go Kane, I'll bring in Diaz. Then I'll get my triple up on Liverpool with the fixtures coming up. And I think, they're still the best to come. Yes, he's been disappointing in the 2 of the 3 games, but he had some really good chances in the first game, guys, against Fulham. Hit the post, Robertson squared it a bit too, strongly, and it kind of went past him before he could reach it. It could have been a lot different. We could have been sat here saying, he's an essential, he's a must-have. Yes, Manchester United was a disappointing game, but that was the whole team in general. But with the fixtures on side, I think, he will come good and he will be given the confidence by Klopp, and he'll only get better with more game time. Yes, Nunes will be a miss, but, I think he will pick up, his kind of reputation and his responsibility for Liverpool. So maybe the next couple of weeks, if I was playing it this week, I think I'd move away from Kulusevski and bring in Luis Diaz from Liverpool. And then I've got Jesus up front. Gabriel Jesus, over 80% of managers own him. Don't need to really discuss him much. 5 returns in 3 games, 19 points in game week 2. Fixtures again, Arsenal we've discussed are on his side, and this guy's Mr. Reliable. We're yet to see who's the penalty taker for Arsenal. I'm more than likely certain now it's going to be Saka, because I think even he wants some returns for himself after the kind of like slow start for him this season. And yes, I'm still going to persist with Haaland in this wildcard draft, because yes, I'm on the fence. I'm still thinking about maybe bringing Kane in to take the advantage of the 3 game weeks where he potentially could be rotated, because Pep did say, the 3 game weeks in 1 week, there is a likelihood he'll bench him, but we just don't know which game week it's going to be. It could be, plays the first 2 in terms of Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, and then gets rested for Villa, or he might play Crystal Palace, be rested for Nottingham Forest, and then play Villa. We just don't know how Pep's going to play it. More than likely, he might be rested for the middle game, but I have seen Pep previously play 2 games in a row, and then bring it, give a rest in the 3rd game. But, he's talked about Alvarez, he's talked about Mahrez, he's talked about Foden, he's talked about Bernardo Silva in his press conferences, and he said that he really, rates those players hard, just as well as Haaland as he does, and highly. So there's a likelihood there might be some rotation, but for now I'll stick with Haaland in this draft. So that's how the 5-3-2 would look. And then on the bench, Reed, Andreas and Stansfield will be on my bench to cover. So that will be 5-3-2 in terms of what my formation looks like. So Ramsdale, 5 defenders, Martinelli, Salah, Diaz and Jesus and Haaland. The captaincy would be on Mo Salah for this game week. So this is what my team would look like if I was to play a wild card in game week 4. I'd be pretty content with that. I think it's good coverage. I've got most players from teams that I'm looking for, and they're high scorers with good fixtures, potential good form, and I think I could get good returns if I was to play it. So that's what my wild card for the time being would look like in game week 4 if I was to activate it and play it. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, in the comment section. Are you looking to play your wild card? Have you played it? Are there any concerns, or are you still thinking about potentially playing it before the deadline? Let me know your thoughts. Which players are you looking at? If you're just making transfers or just taking hits, if you are, or if you got free, a couple of transfers, like 2 transfers free. Are you just playing the 2 transfers and you've got future plans? Let me know. In addition, if you haven't liked the video, give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, it's absolutely free. The family is growing day by day. So hit that subscribe button and be part of the FPL INKLING family. I will be here pretty much all season, every day, with new content for you. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Make your decisions quickly before the price rises or price falls for you, avoiding missing out on the transfers you're looking for, and get your team submitted before the deadline, which is this Saturday at 11 AM. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with some more content soon, guys. Till then, take care, and I'll see you soon.